Aloha, welcome to my channel. My name is June, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sand and polish your Orgonite. So quick disclaimer is that I prefer to use epoxy resin. So this is what these pieces are made out of here, okay? And with that being said, when you sand epoxy resin, it tends to get a little dull no matter how high the grit of sandpaper that you're using. So if you're using silicone mold, we're not going to be sanding the whole entire piece anyways. We will be polishing everything, but the sanding will be mainly focused on the bottom of the piece. So that's totally okay. You're gonna need medium to fine wet and dry sandpaper. The medium and fine is coarse sandpaper will help minimize and reduce any scratching during the sanding process. And the wet and dry sandpaper is really good to use because when you're sanding the Orgonite, it creates a really fine dust that you don't want to inhale or get into your eyes. So you're also going to need your polish. So I have two polishes here, two brands. So the first brand is Novus, which I've been working with for a very long time and I really love. This happens to be a 2-part kit. They do have a 3-part kit available, and all of this is you can get on Amazon online. And the Novus 2-part kit comes with a cleaning and shine spray and a polish. And I also have a Flitz polish, which works really well as well. But the reason why I have two that I like to use is because I feel and find that the Flitz polish is really good at reducing scratches and basically removing scratches and polishing scratches out. And the Novus is really good at shining. So I do like to use both. And you will also need, of course, you're going to need your water for the sandpaper, and then you're going to need a microfiber cloth and some paper towels. So I do have two pieces here that I will be showing you guys as an example. And so the first thing I want to say is when you guys are creating your Orgonite, you want to make sure the final and last layer of resin that you're pouring covers basically the entire thing, and you have a smooth, flat finish at the bottom, which will not only is it more aesthetically pleasing, but it'll basically reduce the amount of work when you're sanding and polishing. So you just want to make sure that you have a smooth surface here to work with when you're working with your Orgonite, right? So with that being said, when you do that, like for example, if you have like a bigger pyramid piece, when you do have a flat surface here, you're only going to be sanding and focusing on sanding off the edges. Okay, so you're not even actually going to need to sand the whole entire bottom, but you're just going to be focusing on the edges. So the reason why I have two examples here today is because for this piece, I will be sanding the whole entire thing and sanding the whole entire bottom so you guys can see what that looks like. And for this one, I will just only be focusing on the edges. All right. And when you're working with your sandpaper, you want to be working with the lowest. You want to start by using the lowest to the highest grit sandpaper. So the lower the grit, the coarser the paper, and the higher the grit, the finer the paper is. So what I have here is I basically have literally so many sandpaper. I have 100 to 7,000 grits. All right. But for the sake of the video, I'm only going to be working with 120 grit, 320 grit, 600, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and then I'll be finishing off with 3,000 grit, which will give it a relatively smooth and fine finish. Of course, with the higher end pieces, I do like to go all the way up to 7,000 grit, but that won't be necessary for today's video. So let's begin. So this is what the finished product looks like after the sanding process. And you can clearly see a huge difference in the two. So this one is completely sanded down all the way, the whole entire thing. And this one, I just smoothed out the edges. So for this piece, I'm going to be using the Flitz polish first, and then I'm going to be going over both pieces with the Novus. So here are the finished results. Nicely polished and shined. And as you can see, the Flitz did a really excellent job at bringing back a lot of its shine. Nice and glossy and shiny finish. So yeah, so this one, the whole entire thing was sanded, polished with the Flitz, and then over with the Novus. And this one, we only sanded and polished the edges, leaving the original layer of resin there and its original shine. But I mean, either way works. You know, it looks great either way. So there you go. This is how you sand and polish your Orgonite. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So much love and blessings. Namaste.